Okay, so Diddy just got sentenced, and now 50 Cent is dropping bombs left and right. We're talking about new celebrity names that nobody saw coming. And get this, there's supposedly a tape with an A-list celebrity who's even more famous than Diddy himself. Yeah, you heard that right. This is about to get wild, so buckle up. What's up, everyone? Today we're diving deep into something that's honestly kind of shocking. This isn't just another Diddy update where we rehash old news. Nope, this is about what's happening right now after his sentencing. New names are popping up everywhere, from grand jury testimonies to fresh lawsuits. And some of these names are going to blow your mind. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly who's being connected to this case, what witnesses are saying about these infamous parties, and why 50 Cent might actually be the hero we didn't know we needed. Plus, we've got actual testimony clips and insider information that paint a pretty disturbing picture of what went down behind closed doors. So if you're curious about who might be next, or what really happened at these parties, stay with me. This is going to be a lot to unpack, but trust me, you're going to want to hear all of it. All right, let's get everyone on the same page real quick. If you've been living under a rock, or honestly, if you just need a refresher because there's so much going on, here's what you need to know about Diddy's situation. Sean Diddy Combs was recently sentenced to prison after being found guilty of some really serious charges. We're talking about a sentence of over 4 years, though he's already served about 14 months while waiting for his trial. So he's probably looking at around 2.5 more years behind bars, maybe less if he gets into some good behavior programs. But here's the thing, it's not just about Diddy going to jail. The why is what matters. The charges involve decades of alleged inappropriate behavior at these parties he threw, which people are calling freakoffs. And I know that sounds like a weird name, but that's literally what they're being called in court documents.
Starting out his official sentence since being sentenced not too long ago, and I think suffice to say it's not going well so far.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's got 4 years and change that he's going to ultimately have to serve. Although he has served already a year as he awaited his trial and then went through his trial. So ultimately, probably he was going to serve about 2.5 years or so. But it's still serious time that he's going to have to serve.
Now, why does this matter right now? Because after the sentencing, witnesses are coming out of the woodwork. People who stayed quiet for years are finally speaking up. Federal authorities have reportedly collected video evidence that shows multiple celebrities in really compromising situations. And here's where it gets even messier. Some of these videos allegedly show hidden cameras in places where you'd expect privacy, like bathrooms. Yikes. The evidence that's causing the biggest stir comes from these flash drives that belong to Kim Porter, who was Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. Kim passed away back in 2018, but apparently she had been keeping records of what was going on, and now those records are in the hands of federal investigators. A guy named Courtney Burgess came forward and testified before a grand jury about what's on these drives. According to him, there are videos featuring 8 different celebrities, 6 men and 2 women, and every single one of them looked like they were either drunk or on something. Even worse, he thinks 2 or maybe 3 of them might have been underage when the videos were filmed. I mean, let's just sit with that for a second. If that's true, we're not just talking about adults making bad decisions at parties. We're potentially talking about crimes involving minors. That's a whole different level of serious. And honestly, this is probably just the tip of the iceberg. Because as more people talk, more names keep coming up. Some of these people might be victims, some might be witnesses, and some might have been participants. It's hard to tell right now because everything is still unfolding. So let's talk about Courtney Burgess, because his testimony is kind of the starting point for all these new revelations. This guy went on national TV immediately after testifying before a grand jury. Like we're talking, he booked it straight from the courthouse to the studio. He sat down with his lawyer and basically told the world what he told the feds. And let me tell you, it's heavy stuff. Courtney says a friend gave him 11 flash drives that used to belong to Kim Porter. On these drives, there are videos from Diddy's parties. 8 videos, 8 different celebrities, all of them appearing to be under the influence of something. And when the interviewer asked him how many of these celebrities might have been minors, he said 2 to 3. Now here's what's really messed up. When asked if there were cameras in private places like bathrooms, Courtney basically confirmed it. He said people were at odd angles in the videos, suggesting hidden cameras. So these celebrities probably had no idea they were being recorded in vulnerable moments. That's just, I don't even have words for how violating that is.
Were there any cameras in places where you'd assume privacy, like bathrooms?
Yeah, well, I've never been in this house, but the picture, yes, that's where it took place.
You're aware of surreptitious cameras that were recording in private places like bathrooms?
I didn't see the cameras. You could tell how the person was angled. I knew that it was a camera there because I was there. You know, I wasn't there. I don't know if the person was too tall, he was holding or whatever, but I wasn't there.
The flash drives also had something else on them, a manuscript, like an actual written memoir that appears to be based on Kim Porter's diaries. It's only 54 pages, and it starts with a note from a woman saying Kim made her promise to get this book out if anything ever happened to her, which is kind of eerie considering Kim died unexpectedly.
Now, Kim's kids have publicly said this memoir is fake, but Courtney stands by it. He says he talked to Kim about it just hours before she died, and she confirmed it was her story. The interviewer asked Courtney directly, "Do you believe all 8 people in these videos were victims?" And he said yes, all of them. Because they were inebriated, they couldn't consent to whatever was happening, and they definitely didn't consent to being filmed. Think about that for a second. 8 celebrities who thought they were just at a party, maybe having too much to drink, not knowing someone was recording their every move. That's nightmare fuel right there. Okay, so now let's get into the names that are already circulating. Some of these come from court filings, and some come from people like Jaguar Wright, who's been speaking out about the industry for years.
We have the Clark sisters. We got Prince, Harry, TD Jakes. The shade of it all, we got Young Miami, but she was not listed underneath celebrity, but she was in the category of sex workers, along with the baby mama of 50 Cent. Can somebody please fill me in and let me know how the Georgia Mass Choir is part of a sex trafficking scandal? My mind is blown. Polo, what are your thoughts?
I'm trying to figure out how, where, how. I am just appalled. I am shocked. They said the Clark sisters, TD Jakes, Stevie J, everybody and their mama been in Diddy house at the parties. And I'm still trying to figure out what do these people be doing there? What is the Clark sisters doing at Diddy's house? I want to know.
The imagery of it all is just like, ew. Like what?
Like what?
What was TD Jakes and Diddy doing? Can we get into the fact that Young Miami is not only just listed as a sex worker, but she's been listed as a drug mule?
In the actual court documents related to Diddy's case, these names have appeared. Stevie J, producer and reality TV star. Young Miami, rapper from City Girls. But here's the kicker, she's listed as a sex worker, not as a celebrity. Prince Harry, yes, the Prince Harry. The Clark sisters, gospel singers. TDJ Georgia Mass Choir. When I saw the Clark sisters and Georgia Mass Choir on there, my jaw literally dropped. Like, these are gospel artists. What in the world were they doing at these parties? Were they just performing? Were they there for other reasons? It's so confusing and honestly kind of sad, because these are people who built their careers on faith and music. And Young Miami being listed as a sex worker instead of a celebrity, that's brutal. She's been so public about her relationship with Diddy, even going on her podcast to talk about wild stuff like Go Poppy and making jokes about their relationship. Well, the jokes aren't funny anymore when you're listed in a criminal case like that.
Young Miami is not only just listed as a sex worker, but she's been listed as a drug mule transporting pink cocaine. Let me tell you something. This case has put me on to so many substances and drugs that I never heard of. Pink cocaine. I'm hearing about liquid cocaine. Lady Jane, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think a lot has been hidden in plain sight, right in front of our faces, that we, as a collective, right, like obviously not as individuals, just as a collective, have turned a blind eye to. It's really interesting how quiet Carisha Young Miami is right now, and how she silently tried to back up into the bushes like that Simpsons meme. Like, she really tried to quietly back up, but no, this is who she didn't marry him, but she married her brand with him in order to come up. The City Girls were the City Girls, and then when she got with Diddy, she felt like Diddy could elevate her visibility and her access. It did. It worked, but what are the consequences of that? It's where we are right now. It's, so you showing up with the Go Pappy, you taunting people and making joking tweets talking about, oh, if Diddy told you get on your knees and lick my feet right now, you'd be getting on your knees and you'd be licking my butt.
And
how would you
even, and that hiding in plain sight? That was one of the examples.
So you taunting people and joking about stuff like that, 2 years or so ago, or maybe even just last year on social media, how would you even have a joke with that sort of nuance or undertone that truly directly directly correlate with what we're watching transpire right now about his ability to abuse power and have people, partake in deviant sexual acts. And now, what was it, Carisha Please, being on Revolt, ain't seen or heard an episode since things start going down. He's selling shares. Different people are taking up for him.
Now, Jaguar Wright has been dropping even more names. She's been saying for years that the industry is corrupt, and now she's being really specific about who should be investigated alongside Diddy.
Everyone that was not my color believed me. It was my people that needed convincing. If someone like the Diddler is your hero, then you should hurry up and go to hell with him. If someone like Jay-Z is your hero, then, just be glad you're not talented so he could sacrifice you like he tried to do me, and he succeeded with Aaliyah. Stevie J should be charged. Mary J. Blige should also be charged. Jennifer Lopez should definitely be charged. Jay-Z should be charged. Khaled should be charged. Rick Ross should be charged. Usher should be charged and tried with him off of Justin Bieber alone.
Now, Carisha and Rick Ross just sat down together in an interview.
I know. Two Diddy doo-wop bops. What a reunion.
Jaguar named Jay-Z says he should be charged and even suggests he tried to sacrifice her. Mary J. Blige, Jennifer Lopez, DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, Usher. She specifically says he should be charged for what happened with Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber mentioned as a victim, not a participant. That last one about Justin Bieber really got to me, because we all remember when Bieber was a young teenager and Diddy was supposedly mentoring him. There are old videos of them together that look really different now when you watch them back with this context. People have been saying for years that something was off about that relationship, and now it's all coming to light.
Jaguar also made this really good point about how black celebrities get protected by the community even when they do terrible things. She said, people always want to, quote, separate the art from the artist when it comes to music, but maybe we shouldn't. Maybe if someone does horrible things, we shouldn't keep supporting their work just because it sounds good.
Seems like when there's a black male musician, whether it be between hip hop and R&B, because I'm speaking about R. Kelly and Diddy, in which they've been seen in photos together, right? So whatever they said he did, he did that.
He
shit.
did.
He said that R. Kelly made a phone call to WAC 100 to show his support for Diddy.
Is that surprising? But so is Tyrese and so is Stevie J. And it's really interesting how the black media, as soon as you start to hold a black man in music accountable, the first thing they want to say is, and sometimes within regular entertainment, but definitely within music, that's why the whole, separate the artist from the act or the man from the music or whatever the case is. And it's like, no, this is what helps us put them on a pedestal and idolize them in a certain way that doesn't hold. Y'all just trying to tear the black man down, are we? Or are we just holding them accountable?
Well, they don't need we don't need to tear them down. And you want to know why? They're going to tear themselves down. As I'm running back some Diddy bops, which they were, I played Bad Boys for Life, right? And literally on the unedited version, the very opening line is, I'm the definition of half man, half drugs. And then you have Young Miami on Perfect. I can't lie. She said, I'll never snitch on you, daddy. I'll hold a brick for you, daddy. They don't need no help with anybody bringing them down. They out here telling on themselves, and all of this stuff is aging terribly.
And you know what? She's got a point. How many times have we heard, oh, but his music is so good, or we can enjoy the art without supporting the person? At what point do we say enough is enough? Just when you think you've heard all the names, more people get added to the list. 2 new celebrities just got named in a recent lawsuit, and one of them is a pretty big deal in the sports world.
2 new celebrities have been named in the Diddy case. I believe this is just the start of the downfall of Hollywood, but here we go. Let's talk about the 2 new people named in the Diddy case. One of the lawsuits filed against Diddy alleges that he and a group of men assaulted her. She has now come forward and said that one of the men was Odell Beckham Jr. He was previously listed as John Doe in the lawsuit.
Odell Beckham Jr., yeah, the NFL star, the Super Bowl champion. He's now listed in a lawsuit claiming he was part of a group assault alongside Diddy. The woman filing the lawsuit says she remembers hearing someone called Cornelius at the party, and she later found out that's Odell's real first name. So she put 2 and 2 together. Odell responded on Twitter pretty quickly. He basically said, "This doesn't make any sense. I know who I am, the truth will come out." He's maintaining his innocence, and honestly, we don't know all the facts yet. But the fact that his name is even coming up in connection with this is wild.
For those of you who don't know, Odell Beckham Jr. was a first-round draft pick for the NFL and won the Super Bowl with the Rams. The other celebrity that she listed as part of the assault was Drewski. Drewski is a comedian, actor, and influencer. Drewski came out with a statement on Twitter saying, "I wasn't even a public figure in 2018. I was broke and living with my mom without any connections to the entertainment industry at the time of this allegation." He went on to say that he believes that the evidence will clear his name. Odell Beckham replied to the statement that Drewski made on Twitter, saying, "This world makes absolutely no sense. I am covered by God. He will prevail. I know who I am. I know who you are. Keep your head up. The name will be clear."
The other name is Drewski, who's a comedian and influencer. Now, Drewski was quick to defend himself. He posted a whole statement saying, "Wait, hold up. In 2018, when this supposedly happened, I wasn't even famous. I was broke, living with my mom, and had zero connections to the entertainment industry." Odell actually replied to Drewski's tweet and said something like, "This world makes no sense. God will prevail. I know who I am. I know who you are. Keep your head up. The truth will clear your name." So it seems like both of them are saying they're innocent and this is all a big misunderstanding. But here's the reality. We're going to see a lot more names before this is all over. Because when something this big starts unraveling, everyone who was anywhere near it gets pulled into the conversation. Some people are guilty, some people are innocent, and some people are victims. The hard part is figuring out who's who. Okay, this is the part that has everyone talking. There's allegedly one video that features a celebrity who is more famous than Diddy, like A-list of the A-list. We're talking about someone at the absolute top of the entertainment world.
Know who it is, and I know that you can't tell us who it is for all the reasons, right? But as you know who it is, and as we're moving through this story, and it's starting to really feel like it's unraveling, and you feel bad for the person, and we don't even know who it is there anything more you can tell us about that part of it?
I really do feel bad about the person.
An attorney who's familiar with the case was interviewed about this, and the interviewer asked, "You know who it is, right? Is there anything more you can tell us about that?" The lawyer said something really interesting. He said part of the reason he came forward publicly was to basically send a warning to this person, like a dog whistle, if you will. He wanted them to know, hey, this tape exists and you might want to do something about it before it comes out.
I really do feel bad about the person. Part of the reason that I did come and say something outside of just to protect my own safety, but I wanted to sound the alarm, essentially, ring the dog whistle, if you will, to that person that maybe they should do something about this before it came out.
The lawyer even said, if that person has the opportunity to purchase the video, if I were them, I would absolutely purchase it. Purchase it. Let that sink in. This tape is apparently being shopped around, and whoever is in it might want to buy it to keep it from going public. But here's the problem. It's allegedly already on the dark web. So even if they buy the original, copies might already be out there. The interviewer asked, "Do you think this is going to surface publicly? Are we getting close to that moment?" And the lawyer said, "From what I'm hearing, I think so."
Well, do you think this is going to surface publicly? I mean, are we getting close to that moment?
From what I'm hearing, I think so.
So yeah, we might actually see this tape at some point. And when we do, it's going to break the internet because everyone is trying to figure out who it could be. The speculation is wild right now. Is it someone in music, movies, sports, politics? Nobody knows for sure, but everyone has theories. The lawyer also said he feels really bad for this person, which suggests they might be a victim rather than someone who willingly participated. That makes it even more tragic because imagine being one of the biggest stars in the world and finding out there's a video of you in a vulnerable, probably drugged state, and you didn't even know you were being recorded. That's horrifying on so many levels. Now let's talk about what actually happened at these parties, because we have someone who was there and is willing to talk about it.
My name is Tania Wallace. I am a singer-songwriter, and I was at I believe to be one of P. Diddy's freakoffs. 2018, I went to this freakoff.
Her name is Tania Wallace. She's a singer and songwriter, and she says she went to what she now believes was one of Diddy's freak-off parties back in 2018. Tanya describes looking around the room and seeing what she thought were midgets, or little people in the corner. She was confused at first because people were huddled around them, trying to hide what they were doing. But then she realized these weren't adults with dwarfism. These were little people, and she doesn't want to say too much, but she's basically hinting that they were children. Use your common sense, she said.
I look to the right of me, and in the corner, I'm looking like, are those midgets? Because people were it's people over them, like it's people trying to hide what they're doing. They're all huddled up. So I'm like, what is that? But no, they weren't. They were little people. And, I don't want to say too much. They were little people.
She described them as dressed up like little Harajuku Barbies, with red lipstick, looking real sexy and revealing. And she's asking the same question we're all asking. What were little people doing at a grown-up party? When the interviewer pressed her and asked, "Are you talking about adults who are little people, or are you talking about minors?" Tanya got really uncomfortable. She said, "Am I going to get in trouble? I don't want to say I witnessed any of that crazy stuff, but we all have common sense."
No, I don't want to say too much. They were little people, so use your common sense. Dressed up like little Harajuku Barbies, red lipstick, looking like real sexy.
Then she said it again. Little people that are not supposed to be here. And the interviewer said, "You're talking about underage people." And Tanya just went quiet. The silence said everything.
What are they doing here? Because this is a grown party.
Are you talking about adults who are little people, or are you talking about minors?
Am I gonna get in trouble? I don't want to say I witnessed any of that crazy stuff, but we all have common sense. Little people that's not supposed to be there.
This testimony is really important because it backs up what's in the indictment about minors being at these parties. It also shows that there was a deliberate effort to hide what was going on. People were huddling around these kids trying to cover up whatever was happening. That's intentional. That's not an accident. And the fact that multiple witnesses are now coming forward with similar stories means this wasn't a one-time thing. This was apparently happening regularly over many years. Now let's talk about the guy who's been warning us about Diddy for years, 50 Cent.
Told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
I asked 50 about that, and he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy.
Yo, why are you and Fifth just...
Hey, yo.
Why y'all not...
Hey, yo, I don't have no beef with
I don't know why.
With Fifth. He loves me. He loves me.
Do y'all really
can't
have
see
a
it?
beef?
I mean, y'all can't see it.
No, we can't see it.
Y'all can't see that he loves me?
But see...
You really, hold on, you really think that's hate?
There's this famous clip of 50 Cent talking about a time when Diddy offered to take him shopping. And 50's reaction was basically, "What the hell did you just say?" He was so uncomfortable that he said, "Let me move before I mess up the wedding," because he was about to do something he'd regret. The interviewer later asked Diddy about it, and Diddy tried to play it off like, "Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy." But we all know that "I'll take you shopping" from one man to another man has a very different vibe to it. It's not about clothes. 50 Cent has never let Diddy live this down. He's been trolling him for years, always staying just far enough away from those parties while watching everyone else get caught up.
I think 50 Cent will forever troll the hell out of Diddy. Like, we see it pretty much every single day, all of the time. But I was waiting for his comment about Diddy allegedly having a weapon and wanting to take out 50 Cent. He knew the second that we heard Capricorn Clark's testimony of her saying Diddy had a weapon and he had a problem with 50 Cent, that 50 Cent was gonna come back trolling. And the fact that he said, "Wait a minute, Puppy's got a gun. I can't believe this. I don't feel safe." We have this literally coming from the man that was literally shot 9 times. And Diddy said, "I got a weapon. I'm finna go take him out." The whole ending of this literally took me out. I can't believe this. I don't feel safe. Oh. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even think that this will be 50 Cent's last post about this interaction. He's been doing a lot of AI photos during this whole entire trial, so I assume we will see another one, probably even funnier than what he actually said right now.
And when testimony came out that Diddy allegedly had a weapon and wanted to take out 50 Cent, 50 posted something hilarious. He said, "Wait a minute, Puppy's got a gun? I can't believe this. I don't feel safe. LOL." This is the same guy who was shot 9 times. 9. And he's making jokes about not feeling safe from Diddy? That's savage. But here's the thing, 50 wasn't just trolling for fun. He's actually been working on a documentary about all of this, and it just got picked up by Netflix.
So after a bidding war between Netflix and a few other companies, 50 Cent's Diddy documentary has officially been picked up by Netflix. The documentary titled Diddy Do It is all about everything Diddy, from the allegations and more. And it's gonna be on Netflix. When it's gonna come out, nobody really knows just yet.
The documentary is called Diddy Do It, which is a pretty clever title, not gonna lie. After a bidding war between Netflix, Tubi, and some other companies, Netflix won. They're going to air this documentary that covers everything about Diddy. The allegations, the parties, the victims, all of it.
What we do know is, when it pertains to 50 Cent and producing some content, you guys know it's going to be interesting. It seems like networks like Tubi and a few other networks definitely wanted the 50 Cent docuseries about Diddy.
We don't know exactly when it's coming out yet, but 50 Cent tweeted something pretty funny. He said that if more allegations keep coming out, he's going to need more episodes. Because at this rate, there's enough material for a whole series.
50 Cent put on Twitter that Netflix picked it up, and he was like, but if the allegations continue, if more and more stuff come out about Diddy, he's gonna need more episodes.
And honestly, I believe him. This story has more twists and turns than any Netflix show I've ever watched. The difference is, this is real life, and real people are being affected by it. 50 Cent might actually end up being the guy who helps bring all of this to light, because he's got the platform, he's got the receipts, and he's got absolutely nothing to lose. He's been vindicated after years of people saying he was just being petty. Turns out he was trying to warn us the whole time. So where is Diddy right now, and what's he doing about all of this?
Diddy, obviously just starting out his time, well, not just starting out, but starting out his official sentence since being sentenced not too long ago. And I think suffice to say, it's not going well so far.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, he's got 4 years and change that he's going to ultimately have to serve, although he has served already a year as he awaited his trial and then went through his trial. So ultimately, probably he was going to serve about 2.5 years or so, but it's still serious time that he's going to have to serve. And he has already, at least if you listen to people close to Diddy, been the victim of violence behind bars. So there was an incident that we first learned about 2 weeks ago during Diddy's sentencing hearing, and he said, I was sleeping in my bed in the prison. It's a federal detention facility, and Diddy claimed that somebody held a knife to his throat.
He's currently locked up at MDC Brooklyn, which is a federal detention facility. And according to people close to him, it's not going well. During his sentencing hearing, it came out that someone allegedly held a knife to his throat while he was sleeping. Just walked up to his bed and put a knife to his throat as an intimidation tactic.
Unclear what exactly happened from there. Was there a guard that came in? Did Diddy somehow fight this person off? Well, seems unlikely that happened. Or did the person just leave? Bottom line, this guy, at least according to people close to Diddy, and Diddy himself, could have hurt him badly or even taken his life. And I think that was something they wanted known during the hearing because they wanted the judge to take some pity on Diddy. It probably didn't help ultimately because he does get the 4+ year sentence. But again, this just is something that is the reality of life for Diddy right now. It's a guy who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars who is now living in a prison cell and will be at least, again, for the next 2.5 years or so.
Now, we don't know exactly what happened after that. Did a guard come in? Did the guy just leave? Did Diddy fight him off? We don't have those details. But the point is that Diddy doesn't feel safe even in prison. And honestly, when you're accused of the things he's accused of, you probably have a target on your back from other inmates. But Diddy isn't just sitting around accepting his fate. He's fighting back hard. His lawyers just filed paperwork asking the court to expedite his appeal. They want oral arguments scheduled for April 2026. Which is way sooner than these things usually happen. And here's the crazy part. The prosecution agreed to it. They're okay with fast-tracking this. But it's not just about reducing his sentence. Diddy is fighting the conviction itself. He wants to overturn the whole thing. He's challenging the Mann Act, which is the law he was convicted under. Basically, he's saying he's not guilty of any of it and wants the whole case thrown out. The appeal paperwork says he's already served 14 months and is eligible for some programs that could reduce his time even more. So if things go his way, he might get out sooner than people think. One legal expert said that Diddy's behavior shows he's not remorseful at all. If he was sorry for what he did, he'd just serve his time. But he's fighting tooth and nail, which suggests he either truly believes he's innocent or he just can't accept being held accountable. There's also been some wild speculation about a potential pardon from President Trump. TMZ reported that a source in the White House said Trump is considering it, but the White House officially denied it. So who knows if there's any truth to that. But even if Trump wanted to pardon him, would he really do that with all these allegations out there? Pardoning someone accused of crimes involving potential minors would be a PR nightmare. So I'm skeptical that actually happened.
begins. Okay, so let's wrap this all up because there's a lot to process here. New names are coming out almost every day in connection with Diddy's case. We've got NFL stars, comedians, gospel singers, rappers, people from all corners of the entertainment world. Some of them are probably innocent, some of them are victims, and some of them might have known exactly what was going on and chose to participate anyway. The grand jury testimony from Courtney Burgess revealed that there are videos of 8 celebrities in compromising situations, and at least 2 might have been minors. That's not just scandalous, that's criminal. There's allegedly an A-list tape floating around with someone more famous than Diddy, and it might become public at any time. When that drops, the internet is going to explode. 50 Cent has been vindicated after years of warning people, and now he's making a Netflix documentary that's going to expose even more. Honestly, I can't wait to see what he includes in there because you know he's been collecting receipts for years. Diddy is currently sitting in a prison cell, fighting for his freedom through an expedited appeal process. He wants the whole conviction overturned, not just a reduced sentence. And the fact that prosecutors agreed to speed up the timeline is interesting. Maybe they want to get this over with quickly too.
But here's the bottom line. This case is far from over. The April 2026 appeal is going to bring new revelations. More names will probably come out. More victims might come forward. And that mystery A-list tape could drop at literally any moment. So I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and let me know. Who do you think the A-list celebrity in that tape is? Are you going to watch 50 Cent's documentary when it comes to Netflix? What name would shock you the most if it came out? Make sure you're subscribed because this story is going to keep developing and you don't want to miss any updates. There are going to be more twists and turns, I guarantee it. All right, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.